Good morning, Scorpio. This is Mary Ellen, coming to you from Moonrise Cottage for your love and soulmate reading. Trying to get these out just before the full moon in Pisces. There's a lot of changes going on, a lot of things happening, and clearly, as we look at the cards, a lot of things happening in your life, a lot of interruptions, which is, in a sense, what this rune is about. We see it here in the cards. So this is literally the third time I've attempted to do your video. The first time the file got corrupted and I started over. And then the second time I did it, somebody drove up the driveway and I got interrupted. And I was asking my guides, what is the problem? Please stop. And of course, it's because there are things that I didn't see in the cards, and I think messages that are meant to come to you. So let's jump right in. All the information about me is below. Most of you know that I'm going on my own great journey. If you want a personal reading of any kind, please send me a contact email through my website. I have closed out the self-booking calendar because things are too up in the air for me. All right, so let's jump in, Scorpio, and ask my guys to please let this go forward. So if you look at the cards, this is you. If you're new, this is, your realm, my guides are saying. And this is the line for your partner, your intended, your beloved, who you're crushing on. Somebody that's in your sphere or that has been in your sphere. Because we see this person asking for help, asking for guidance from the spiritual realm. And they want to move in your direction. And there's a challenge. Apparently, they're needing some help. So they're involved in a lot of transformation. And there's you. Look, you see? Either you broke up or things are just really bad and neither one of you knows how to fix it and you're very sad. I was going to say you're freaking out. My guide said, don't say that. It's disrespectful. It's more true that you are both very sad and you're feeling very embattled. You don't know what to do. You don't know how to fix it. So when things come into a fixed state like this, look, the Tower, okay, Scorpio? And it's because of this. You're going to break free. So when this came out, initially it was meant to be here where the Star card is. You are, my darlings, I'm so sorry some of you, general message, right? Like all readers say, it's not going to apply to everybody. But there's something going on. There's a mystical process that is meant to bring you literally to a breaking point. 9 of Wands, 9 of Swords, so that the cycle of, boy, a lot of words coming through, but something either that is inside of you or that has become a pattern in the relationship or an intractable issue that brings a Tower moment that may have sent you apart because we see the 5 of Cups here, okay? So that's kind of the overview, and the Oracle cards implicate the same thing. So I'm going to jump in. I'm going to try to make sense of this for you, but for some reason, this is how my guides wanted this to come out. And in the end, it's a really beautiful, tender, sweet story about the way broken love comes to its own healing. Oh, I'm getting choked up. See, Scorpio? Comes to its own healing because no matter what's going on, the love prevails. My heart chakra's cracking open. My throat's getting all choked up. There's some profound love that you're engaged with inside your being. This is the kind of stuff that happens when you are with a soulmate, a past life person, a quantum partner. People say twin flame. However you identify a very, very significant relationship, it may be with somebody in your family. There may have been a rift. So Scorpio, when the rift happened, okay, so here's what my guides, they just told me, get organized. That's what my guides want to speak with you about. All right, that's the energy of the reading, the prediction of the reading, the foundation of knowledge. And it's fascinating because there you're standing in the mystical realm. It's a fertile moment, standing with the ancients, standing with the guides, getting assistance from the universe, coming into the spiritual place inside of you because of that connection. And look, that's the same card. All right, 6 of Pentacles. You and your partner are working really hard through some very profoundly difficult moment whatever the source of it is. Might be fighting, might be a reason why you are separated. It might be difficulties within your challenge. It could be within your family. Could be. That's interesting. I meant to say family, and the guide said challenge. So for some of you, that's true. Anything, illness, addiction, distance, bickering. I said the word. Yeah, I don't know. Let's leave it there. I can't, as a reader, pretend that I know every circumstance. But generally, the circumstance is that you are in separation, many of you, and you are in an extreme amount of pain and anxiety and literal bondage in your head, in your heart, perhaps in your life. So while you stand on this foundation, you literally pray to the universe. That's what's happening on both sides. You and your sweetheart, your true love, your child. Okay, there's so many relationship contextual words coming through. Someone you're very close to. Both praying for help because the situation is untenable and you're in an extreme amount of pain. And when you pray for that help, I think your prayers get answered in part because you go deeply inward. That's the bear. It's known to be feminine energy, and we see feminine wisdom here standing with the ancient ones, the male wisdom, blending together, taking up the energy, becoming pregnant, so to speak, becoming fertile by taking up the energy of the wisdom plays. While your partner does the same thing, you're creating magic together, some of you. Whoever are the Scorpios that this is for, you're separated from somebody, and it's bringing you a lot of pain, and you're praying to the universe, please help us come back together. And then you bring forward a tower moment, because that's what my guides want to speak about. That's you. You are the tower that brings the whole thing crashing down. You do something, and there you are going inward. This is interesting. The spiral dance of the planets. Look at that. Pardon me, of the goddess. The spiral dance of the goddess with this feminine energy. All right, so turning destiny, that's what it's about. And then while you do that, look, lightning strike, the tower. You're gathering your power, Scorpio, in a way that's profound. And it may be that it is this excruciating experience that finally causes you to wield your power, to come into your power, and make a commitment to stand in that place. Yeah, my guides are saying you want to save each other. And there may have been a period of difficulty in which you drove each other away. Just see, 9 of Wands, a lot of anger, a lot of frustration, a lot of battles, battle weary. And then the 10 comes and you just say, I'm out, right? Like that, just, I'm out. So something must have happened. And then the moment when you said, I'm out, or I'm done, or I'm not going to fight anymore, because neither one of you, it may have been an agreement. You may have agreed to break up. This is on the side of your lover, okay? And so look what happens. So there's you. The very next thing is 4 of Wands. The intensity of the love comes crashing, that's what it is, comes crashing into your consciousness finally. And you realize, maybe some of you, my guides are saying, you realize you've been acting like a so-and-so. I'll put it that way, right? And same thing with your partner. Look, 9 of Wands, sleepless nights, torture, literal mental torture, heartache. And right behind this person's back is the Ace of Cups. So a moment came, and it might be, all right, here's what my guides are saying. You know, in the movies, when you see a scene and somebody's just kind of like this, they're just out of control, you can't get them to calm down, whatever, and finally somebody slaps them in the face. It's like that. Like somebody finally slapped you in the face, and it was the two of you. It's the thing that you created together, whatever it is. So if you're willing to share, I would love to hear, what is this about if you're experiencing this? So it's very interesting, and because you're a fabulous Scorpio who will bring this to themselves, because you hide, Scorpio, and you go into the deep, it's really hard for you to process. Really hard to be vulnerable, much easier to sink down into the depths of the ocean and process for 15 years rather than come up to the surface and say, all right, this is what I'm. So there's some of it's just your nature. And I think it's highly possible that you see this, you're dealing with another water sign, maybe some of you. They've got earth elements and fire in their chart, I think. So there's the situation out of which you are rising through this beautiful lightning strike. And one of the most beautiful things about the Scorpio, you reached into the depths of your strength because you're so masterful. Okay, my guides are saying, they just said, you saw your own condition mirrored in your partner. This stuff I was saying about sinking into the deep. Do you see all the black in this card? I think you saw your partner going through what you experienced, some of you. It's interesting. Thank you, Spirit. And maybe that was the moment where he said, oh my God, I know what that's like. I can't let my guides just said, I can't let my baby go through that, right? You know the other person, whoever you're separated from, or whoever you are fighting with, and you can't get across the divide of the fighting. When you fall in that pattern, we've all done it. I've done it. Out of that place comes, my guides keep calling it the tornado, right? I think because of the lightning strike. You create the lightning strike because, yeah, okay, my guides just confirmed. Okay, because not only are you standing in this place, you see your partner in this condition and you cannot tolerate it. It's what brings the lightning strike. The tower comes down. That's what you're bringing down. Because in that moment, you understand the depth and the intention of the love that you have for each other. And you clear the skies. You come riding through. Full light of the sun, new life, purity, childlike innocence. And that's what this is about. This is the card for magic. And it talks about the innocent magic of a child and how children believe in magic. So again, in very interesting ways, you are mirroring each other. And it's because the love that you have for this person, whether it's a partner or a friend or a family member, it's very strong. It's really very strong. And you love each other so much. There's an acceptance, while at the same time there was all this pushing away. So you summon your strength. Infinity, Scorpio, in a sense, there's your symbol. And you summon your strength, and you deal with the tower moments, and you free yourself, and you free your partner. Part of how you do that is this Five of Cups energy. Again, it's about going in. On a spiritual level, it's totally reflecting your human life. So do you see how that person is shrouded? When I see this card, it always reminds me of the Hermit and sort of the water sign equivalent of the Hermit. You go inside, you're cloaked, you're kind of invisible, but you're activated. And you're just standing there like the hanged man, my guides are saying. You know there's cups behind you. And you're looking at what has happened, what is happening, what's going on. See the water element? Standing in front of your own element. And you process and you process and you process, and you pray and you cry and you do everything you need to do until you're done with that process. And you take your cape off, you stand in the full light of the sun, you turn around, you pick up those 2 cups. So you're leaving clearly behind factors of your relationship. And you're wanting to never pick up those cups again so that you can carry your 2 cups into victory, into a new place, a new way of having the relationship across that little bridge in the background. And again, it's cause and effect, okay? And the moment you do that, you come straight into a 9 of Pentacles moment. Okay? And it is because you're working so hard. So you come into the bounty of that moment, having done all that processing, and then you begin the work that is going to bring forward the actual destiny that's meant for the 2 of you. So there is some new mastery that you need to have, right? So in a sense, you could say you fall back from the 9 of Pentacles to the 8. It's it's a good progression, my guides are saying, because it shows an awareness and a willingness to craft a new pentacle, a new way, a new place to hold the relationship. And then, of course, that brings forward your happy destiny, what's meant for you, actually. So, when this is going on with you, Scorpio, let's look at your partner. I think this person is doing their own work, wielding magic, praying to the universe for help, trying to move on from you, and they can't. You see how there's something in their way? They're trying to move on, they're trying to get to you, and they're trying to move on from you at the same time. It's interesting. That's what my guides are talking about. And we have the Chariot just above this. And there's something in the way, right? They don't have what they need. They're praying out for help. I can't get past this boundary. I want to sail into the future with my beloved, and there's an obstacle. Okay, obstacles. All right, so I think you may have been getting messages from this person, and because it's hawk energy, it's feminine energy. Again, there's a lot of working with feminine energy, and it's the male energy that brings forward the extreme power. So props to all of you, whatever gender assignment you relate to, whatever side of your nature, male or female, understand how it is that you as a total being come through this situation. So, texts, obviously in this day and age, text and email and, oh my gosh, a lot of movement on your partner's part. This is about messages coming through from the divine. So again, your partner is praying and using magic and asking the universe to please help the two of you come to this beautiful moment of soul rising. And we've got the full moon tomorrow. All right, so if you're seeing this after the full moon, don't worry about it. But these are the messages that are coming through, because this person also having an intense moment of realization, and what they want is justice. They want their love back, which means they want the relationship. Okay, they want to come to balance. They want to be able to get the justice, the balance, the okay, my guides are saying the reparations from both sides. And in some moment that happens, they do get a very inspiring insight about their love and their passion and how they are meant to use the love to solve the situation. If many of us have been in this situation, I certainly have. Come to a moment with someone and you might tell them to F right off and really mean it in the moment. And then time goes by, you feel, oh, why did that happen? You try to figure it out. You spend time looking at it, and then you ask and you pray. You start sending messages, and messages come back to you from the divine. And finally, you walk away from whatever it is in your character or your habituated behavior that is co-creating the disturbance, and you come to some realization, and you walk through the gate. You walk away from that rather than your partner. It's really beautiful. Into this beautiful love abundance, and you see how the corners of these two cards are touching each other. Look at justice in the Chariot. And that's the moment that your partner moves forward, immediately moves toward you, attempting to come toward you. There's still something in the way. All right. And I think it's that you haven't come into the union of the realization yet. Right? It may not be exactly on the same timeline. The love that comes from the universe is divine love. That's what solves the equation. And your lover, beautiful Scorpio, look at the fire and the passion and the intention. All right. So it might be somebody who has to learn how to take charge of themselves, take charge of their own life, become the emperor. And I think they may come across to you with some new vigor, my guides are saying, like really solid in a way that they weren't, perhaps. Perhaps, okay, here's what my guides are saying. That's kind of interesting. I wouldn't conflate this, but I'm just going to deliver the message, okay? Maybe in the past they were a little wishy-washy, like trying to find the balance. I don't know what to do. Let me work on it, blah, 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 like that. And that may be part of what caused the problem. And then finally they go through all this restoration, reformation. My guides are using all kinds of words like that. And they just finally come into their power and their stability. And then that moment, they come at you in whatever way it is. It may be, again, an internal decision about this. And they have no doubt, all right, you know what? That's my man, that's my woman, that's my lovely partner, and they shall be mine. So my guides are saying, and they shall be mine. Ooh, you know what? This is like one of the best love stories I've ever heard. I know that this can be really hard, really hard. So I'm just going to read to you from the book, and my guides are asking me, just because this is 2 days trying to come out. I love it. I'm going to read to you about that. I'm going to pick one more. Okay, something a little fresh. So this is the rune for the sacred warrior. It has lots of implications, but it is about finding your strength, actually. And the sacred warrior's battle is always with the self. So, like the guys are talking about, that's what's been going on. I think inside of both of you. Okay? So, let's see. This is about the warrior and the sky god. This is the rune of the spiritual warrior. And always the battle of the spiritual warrior is with the self. Funding a will through action. Yeah, thank you, Spirit. That's exactly right. Yet unattached to outcomes, remaining mindful that all you can really do is stay out of your own way and let the will of heaven. Do you see? The will of heaven. I love this, Spirit. This is so beautiful. So you have to let the will of heaven flow through you. Those are among the hallmarks of the spiritual warrior. Embodied in this rune is the energy of discrimination, sword-like quality that enables you to cut away the old, the dead, the extraneous. And yet with the warrior rune comes certain knowledge that the universe always has the first move. Patience is the virtue of this rune, and it recalls the words of St. Augustine that the reward of patience is patience. Here you are asked to look within and to delve down to the foundations of life itself. Only in so doing can you hope to meet the deepest needs of your nature and tap into your most profound resources. The molding of character is at issue when you draw this rune. Yeah, thank you, Spirit. Just confirmation of everything that was coming out. The molding of character. How beautiful is that? Associated with this rune are the sun, the masculine energy, the active principle. The urge for conquest is powerful here, especially self-conquest, which is a lifelong pursuit and calls for awareness, single-mindedness, and the willingness to undergo your passage. See? Look. Beautiful. With compassion and in total trust. When this rune comes in response to a relationship issue, it indicates that the relationship is both timely and providential. The bond is a real one. There is work for you to do together. If the issue concerns devotion to a cause, an idea, or a path of conduct, the warrior rune counsels perseverance. Although at times the kind of perseverance called for is patience. This is a rune of courage and dedication. In ancient times, this glyph was the one that warriors painted on their shields before battle. So now the same symbol strengthens our resolve to align the self with the self. So this rune actually is meant to be this way. So it is reversed. And I believe it's signaling the end of this cycle. No more fighting. Put it down through the realizations that you're having. So according to the book, the danger in the situation is that hasty or ill-timed action causes life force to leak out or be spilled away. If your association is short-lived, do not grieve. Know that it has fulfilled its lifespan. Matters of trust and confidence are at issue here. Clearly, thank you, Spirit. And with them, the authentic way of being in the world. So you're just not being who you truly are. You need to step up to your highest self, I think. And That is what the relationship's going to bring to you. And you know what? I think in the end of the day, you're going to look back on this moment and feel an intense amount of spiritual gratitude. That's going to feel like magic, the lightning strike that happened to you. It's going to be, my guides are saying, it's going to be a story you're going to tell to your grandkids. So, when reversed, this rune calls for examining your motives very carefully. Is it self-conquest with which you are concerned? Or are you trying to dominate another person? Ooh, they're not slicing any words, are they? Are you lusting after an outcome? Or are you focused on the task for the sake of the task? You will find the answers within yourself, not in outside advice. When you consult the runes, you are consulting the higher self. It is an action appropriate to the spiritual warrior. Wow. Powerful, isn't it? So that's the rune for defense. Look at this. You're just going through something really mystical and beautiful. It looks like, okay, you know that acronym FUBAR, from where you're standing. And you might have been just through this. You may be culminating this in the full moon. So let's just check in with the rune for defense, and then I will let you go. So this is Awaz. It's about defense, avertive powers, signified by the yew tree. A friend of mine told me that the yew tree grows, its branches grow down to the ground and then bury under the ground, and it comes up in another location, turns into a new tree. So, rooting things deeply so that they can find their own pathway and regrow in a new form. I like that metaphor. So as we are tested, we fund the power to avert blockage and defeat. At the same time, we develop inside ourselves an aversion to the conduct, thank you, Spirit, that creates stress in our lives. If there appears to be an obstacle in your path, look. Wow. If there appears to be an obstacle in your path, can you see that? Let me pull that down a little bit. Do you see this? So there's the two of you. Obstacles, trying to get help, etc. Consider that this obstacle or delay may prove beneficial. Do not be overly eager to press forward, for this is not a time or situation in which you can make your influence felt. Patience, just like here, patience is the counsel that Awaz offers. Nothing hectic, no acting needy or lusting after a desired outcome. This rune speaks to the difficulties that can arise at the beginning of a new life. Often it announces a time of waiting for a spring to fill up with water, or for fruit to ripen on the bough. Perseverance and foresight are called for, the ability to foresee consequences before you act is the mark of a profound person. Avert anticipated difficulties through right action. And yet, even more than we are doers, we are deciders. When the decision is clear, the doing then becomes effortless, because then the universe supports and empowers your action. Receiving Awaz, you are put on notice that through inconvenience and discomfort, growth is promoted. This may well be a trying time, and certainly it is a meaningful one. So set your house in order, your house, your own house. Tend to your business. Become clear and wait on the will of heaven. Wow, mystical in a way that is like an epic love story stuff. So Scorpio and, cross watchers, if you're watching, this Pisces moon is extremely powerful. It is changing destiny here on the earth. And part of what's going on is we're all being prepared to jump timelines. And it has everything to do with the cosmology. As you understand, Pluto, Capricorn, Taurus, Uranus, right? I mean, we know what's going on, don't we? All of us that know, we know. These are some of the effects. So take heart, trust, be patient, look into yourself, right? Take the actions you need to be a responsible adult. That's what my guides are saying. Stop blaming and shaming. It's really hard to let go of because that's a safe position, isn't it? But something profound is happening. So you'll see a link to the Pisces full moon event. My God, it's called an event. Video that I made a couple days ago. Click on it. It's going to be at the very end of this video. You have to go watch it. Based on this, it's all about the end of struggle and the way we're turning a corner now and coming into a new way of being. And so it is being given to you as a gift inside of this very significant relationship. All right, very significant relationship that you two have been given, and it's time to change it. Right? So I'm wishing you the best, Scorpio, and to your sweet love, the best. The time of anxiety is coming to a close. Might not happen today, might happen next week, but if you apply yourself in this manner with this advice, things should come to rights. All right. So Scorpio, let me know what's going on. Become the emperor in your own life with your love. The emperor of your love that rules over your love, right? Not in a possessive, domineering way, in an open, tender, accepting, spiritual perspective. Come to the spiritual side of the love and just leave this right where it belongs, which is in the dump heap, right? In a sense, in terms of a day-to-day. Scorpio, thank you. Would appreciate if you folks would click the like button for me. It helps my channel. And, it has everything to do with the YouTube algorithm. Blah, blah, blah. So, kids, my guides are saying kids, thanks for being here. Please share this widely on all your social media. For anybody that you know that's a Scorpio, that this might be helpful to them. They're going through this kind of difficulties. I'd appreciate it. And I'll look forward to seeing you soon. Enjoy the full moon. Take your sweetheart. Go sit in your car. Go sit on the roof or someplace and just float. Holding hands, looking at the moon. Okay? Thanks, gang. See you soon.